Hello FlossTube, this is Dina and this is Sunday the 18th of June, and I just wanted to come to you this evening for a very brief moment to let you know that I have a finish to share. I will borrow a term that I heard Stitch and May say on her latest video, which is an unexpected or unplanned finish. I hadn't planned on this one. It was a victim of opportunity. I actually had every intention this weekend to fully finish my ornaments for my 4th of July tree and get it set up. And I got my fabric out and all of my finishing materials, and I went to finish them. I'm looking at them over on the ironing board today and realized that I had only stitched 5 and I really wanted to stitch 6 for this year. So somehow with Stitch Mania going on and me doing the Christmas ornaments, I got it in my head I had finished all of them. And so I got them out today and discovered I had not. So as it turned out, I had an opportunity to look through my magazines and my books, and I found one of my favorite books. This is the Alma Lynn Country Cross Stitch. It's an older book, and I have stitched a lot out of this book. It has been a very good purchase for me years and years ago. So this one is entitled Two for the Red, White, and Blue. And it's a pair that they sort of put in here together. And this is the Tulip, and this is the other one is an Angel. And I chose to do the Tulip. It was different from anything else I had. So I did the Tulip. I did it in the called for colors. There were only about 9 of them. So it was a quick stitch. And I just wanted to share it with you tonight. Here's my little Tulip. She's all taken care of. So now, tomorrow, on Monday, I will get to finish my ornaments and have them on my ornament tree. And when I do, I'll come back and I'll film just a little bit to show you what it all looks like in the end. So goodbye for now, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, here is the 4th of July ornament tree. You'll see the arrangement that I have there. I have my flat fold that I made at my retreat in Indiana that Alma taught us how to make. And I also have my 4 freedoms, which you've seen previously on my videos when we talked about the problems we had framing that. So that's sort of the grouping that I have. And then I'm going to go a little bit closer and show you the ornaments a little more on a one-on-one close-up view, if I don't make you seasick. Here's the and the Star Spangled Banner, O Long May She Wave, that we did. And then we'll go around here. We'll see the July 4th bird. There we go. And at the bottom here, you can see the back of the fabric there. That's the back on all of them. And then this is the little flag waving teddy bear. My tulip finish from this weekend. The peace heart. There we go. And the Alma Lynn, the other Alma Lynn, little country 4th of July. I made that as my topper almost. Put that at the top anyway. And then, in case you hadn't noticed as I was moving around, there's another one in here, Hooray for the USA. And that was a gift made to me, for me, by Pat from Custom Cutting. You know, she and her husband make the bell pulls, and they live in Canada, and she's actually got a little maple leaf on the back to represent her Canadian background. So those are the ornaments that are on the tree, and there's my little arrangement here in the entryway as we come in. I just want you to get a chance to see it. Good morning, everyone. This is Dina. Today is Wednesday, June 21st, and I just wanted to pop on here for a minute or two and share with you a wonderful gift that I received, a rack. And this is from Arlene Grimm. She said I could share her name with you. Arlene has been a subscriber to my channel from very early on and has always made wonderful comments. But she's a lovely person, and we have gotten to know each other a little bit. We've joined as friends on Facebook, and Arlene is always kind about checking in with me and having a conversation through Messenger with me every now and then. She's a busy grandmother and active stitcher, and she recently noticed that I had been stitching 4th of July ornaments and things for the holiday coming up. And she had finished stitching one herself that was very patriotic. So she contacted me and asked if she could pass the stash, would I be interested? I was passing the stash on my latest video, which I'll be revealing at the end of this one, who the recipient will be. And I guess Arlene thought that was a pretty neat idea. So she said, since I like to pass the stash and share it, she thought she would like to do that for me. So she asked if I would like the Little House Needleworks pattern from the Early Americans series, Betsy Ross. And I said, oh, yes, I would love it. So I got in the mail yesterday, Betsy Ross. So I'll be able to join in and stitch that. And I may not get it done in time for this year because I've just started a new start that's a secret stitch. And then I'll be starting another new start on the 1st. But I just wanted to thank Arlene for her thoughtfulness and her kindness to me. I've thanked her privately, but I wanted to thank her publicly as well. She sent me the sweetest little note. And actually, she sent me a note thanking me for my floss tube vlog, and you know, said some very sweet things to me as to what that means to her. And you know, we do these videos sort of as a record of what we do, but it is so meaningful to know that someone else is enjoying them at the same time. And if you've actually positively influenced someone, oh, all the more better, you know, that to know that you're doing something positive. So I just wanted to thank Arlene for my rack. And I know a lot of you are stitching her, but now I get to stitch her with you, so I'm excited about that. Hope you're having a great stitching week. I will be stitching a little bit later today on my secret stitch. It is a gift, so I can't show it till it's you know, been given. Thanks again, Arlene, for passing the stash. I appreciate it so much, and I'm so enjoying getting to know you. Have a good day. Bye. Hey everyone, it is Saturday, and I just wanted to stop in for a quick moment to tell you about a shopping trip that I had today. I had a wonderful coupon that I wanted to use at a local big box store, as they call it, and I was going there to replenish some DMC threads because I had a wonderful bargain. And in my coupons, I had 2 coupons that were, if you spent X amount of dollars, you get so many dollars off. And when I added up how many threads I needed, I was going to be able to use 2 of those coupons, 2 of the smaller ones. So if I've split it. So I went to my Joann's, and I went and I got all my thread and went to the checkout counter. And I made sure that the sales clerk knew that I had 2 coupons. So it was going to have to be in 2 transactions, so we had to split it up. So he said, well, let's scan enough for the first one, we'll stop and cash it out, and then we'll scan enough for the second one. So that's what we did. So we scanned all the DMC floss enough for the first discount, and you know, they scan each one at a time. So after having to call for backup to check out other people because we kept scanning floss, we got to the end, and I got a total, and the discount was applied, and I got ready to pay, And before I could pay, the computer froze up. Froze up. Would not process. Would not go forward. Would not let them back anything out and try again. Would not refresh. Nothing. Froze up. So the sales clerk calls his manager, and she comes over and she plays with it and she tries several things. So while she's working on it, I suggested to the sales clerk that we go to another register because they're right next to each other, and we go ahead and we do the smaller portion of my purchase and get that coupon applied while she's fooling with the machine to save a little time. So we did, and we got that. Purchase went just great, went fine. Applied the coupon, I paid for my floss. So he hands me a bag with part of my floss in it. About this time, the sales manager lets us know that they're going to have to back this whole thing out and they're going to have to scan it all over again. And then she looks at how many items it was and she says, well, there's your problem. It can't take that many. So we had this discussion. And the decision was made that we would split my purchase in half. And even though I couldn't scan the coupon in, she was going to go ahead and override and key in the dollar discount, and she would put half on one and half on the other. Okay, I don't care as long as I get my discount. You know, that's why I'm buying the floss now anyway. So that's what we did. Well, to make things go a little quicker, because now I've been waiting a little while, she decided she would do half of that, and the sales clerk who had been helping me could do the other half. So that's what they did. They were both checking me out at the same time. I'm standing between the two registers. Anyway, we get through. The lady gets through first, and she applies the discount, and I pay her for my floss, and she hands me my bag of floss, which is now my second bag, and with the receipt in it. And he's ready to cash me out, and he goes to apply the discount, and he misunderstood the directions on how to do this manual override, and he froze up that computer. Is this the second time this poor floss has been scanned? They had to back it out, completely redo it. So for the third time, that part of my floss gets scanned, and at that time the discount is applied and I'm able to finish my transaction. Oh, about 45 minutes later, I'm walking out of the store with my floss. Anyway, I got it and I got to use my discount, and so that was, you know, very good. And I've now replenished my DMC, so I'm okay there. I won't need any for a while. But I've depleted several of my colors making cording, you know, for my ornaments, as Vonna can tell you. It takes a lot of floss sometimes to make that cording. And so I had to go, you know, replenish some of that. And but anyway, I just thought it was funny to me that it would be so difficult, you know, to get a purchase in a craft store. They only allow so many items when they have so many small items that you could potentially buy. Anyway, in fact, the young man waiting on me said the same thing. He couldn't imagine that they had a limit on the number of items you could check out in one transaction. But I'm sure some of you have run into that. I've heard stories from you about, you know, having too many items, especially when you're getting your DMC when it's on sale. It wasn't a good sale on the DMC, but with my coupon, it equated to about the same price. So that's why I went ahead and got it. But I have just been busy stitching, and unfortunately can't share it with you today because it's for a gift. So I will video it and save it, and after I gift it, I'll share it with you then, okay? But in the meantime, you guys have a great weekend of stitching. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye-bye. Good morning, Floss Tube. This is Dina, and I'm here with my end of the month update report, and I'll be selecting the recipient for the Pass the Stash today. And I'm hoping, you see there's an empty chair right here. I'm hoping that I'll have an assistant today to help me pick the winner. So I'll go ahead and start with my end of the month update on my last whip, or a couple of whips that I've worked on since we last talked. And I'll start with a confession. This is for Taryn. We have been getting our house ready to put on the market, and in anticipation of an upcoming retirement for my husband in a few months, we decided we would sell our current home and maybe downsize a little bit. And so I have a period of time in the last week that for 4 days straight, I did not cross stitch. I didn't touch a needle. I was, really busy getting the yard ready and getting the house deep cleaned and everything ready that you need to do before you can show your house to people. So by the fourth day, I can really attest to cross-stitch withdrawal. I was depressed. I was sad. And so I had the privilege of going to a stitchy meetup yesterday that Covered in Cat Hair, Talia, sponsored for us locally. And I shared this with the ladies there, and they said, oh, it's real. It's absolutely real. We know exactly what you're talking about. And I hadn't had a period that long that I didn't get to stitch since I retired in January of 2014. So it was an unusual experience for me, and I must say I didn't like it. I don't want to repeat it again. So I have pitifully poor progress to show you compared to what I normally do. But I truly appreciate what people have said, Katie and others, about every stitch counts. That's one stitch closer to a finish, or that's just progress, no matter how small it is. And I have to hang on to that this week because I've had precious little time to do any stitching. But the first whip I'll share with you today is one you've seen frequently, and it's the Children's Garden. This is what it will look like. And if you will recall, when we last saw this, I had the prongs on his rake left to back stitch. I had missed that before. And I had started on these flowers and had gotten up to about, I don't know, his shoulder or so on this side. And so my goal was to get the back stitching finished and to come over here and start on the flowers so everything meets in the middle. And I am happy to say that I did meet my little goal on this piece. It's the only piece I've met a small goal on, but I did on this piece. So I'm very happy about that. So I'll show you my progress. This is where I got to. And the reason that I was able to do that on this piece, I think, quite frankly, was because of our stitching get-together yesterday. I couldn't do anything else in the house. I was there, and so I stitched. I stitched about 4 hours yesterday. Oh, it felt so good. Anyway, here we go. You can see the little prongs are now in the rake. I didn't do any more in the confetti flower area behind the little boy. I went ahead and I moved over to the little girl, and I started on her. So I picked up where her dress left off and did this border and the confetti flowers, and that is extremely confetti heavy. So now I'm into the slow moving part of this. The letters and the outfits and the little children went really quickly. But I did get further along on the confetti over here than I thought I would. So I'm pleased with the progress. I'm going to continue stitching on this piece probably today. I have a virtual stitching meetup with a couple of my friends, Janet, whom you've heard me speak of many times. She's on Instagram, and but not on FlossTube. And our friend Mary, that we met at the stitching retreat in Indiana this past summer in May. And we are going to stitch together on a conference through Messenger. If you haven't tried that, I encourage you to do that. And just see how everybody's doing, seeing what they're working on, and we'll stitch together for, you know, a short time this afternoon. And I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to keep this piece out since I've been working on it. I'm kind of in the groove with it, and I'm going to work on it again today. So I may make a little more progress on it, but not, you know, not noticeably enough that it would matter. So I want to go ahead and share that with you today. I also mentioned, you know, that went to a stitching meetup yesterday, and I met two lovely ladies. One is a floss tuber, and her name is Lisa, and she is on the silver needle. I'm sorry, the silver stitcher. And I came right home and looked her up on FlossTube and watched her video, and her first one anyway. And now today I intend on binge watching her other few videos and catch up with her. She told me a lot about herself as we were talking yesterday, and she shared a lot of that in her first videos. She's just an open book, and I like that about her. And she has grandchildren that she enjoys talking about, and one in particular that is just precious. So she's doing lots of stitching. She loves Hades, but she's getting into the Nora Corbett pixies and things like that. So a lot of pretty work you'll get to see from her. And I encourage you to go and give her a look, see what you think. But while we were there yesterday, Lisa brought several items of magazines and patterns and things that she had, some of which she had been given, or some she found, I think, at a thrift store. And she was sharing the wealth with us yesterday, so we all got to look at them, and I was able to find a just cross stitch that I didn't have because it was October 2015, but I got it for the cover piece. I haven't even looked through the magazine yet, but I just thought that was so cute, that little girl on there. So I may have to put this in my you know, Halloween stitching for next year or the year after, depending on when I can get to everything. But I just wanted to share that with you. That's October 2015, and it's just really cute. I don't know if there's something else in there I might like, but I'll look through it, and if there's something that really jumps out at me or reminds me of some of you, I may come back and share that a little bit with you. So the last whip that I want to share with you, I'm embarrassed to show you. I don't know that you can even tell what I did on it, but I'll tell you anyway. But it is on the other side of the room over there, so I'm going to pause you, and I'll go over and I'll just turn the camera around, and it's on my floor stand, and I'll just show it to you that way. And then I'll see if I can get my helper to come and help me pick the winner. So stay tuned. Be right back. Okay, thanks for hanging in there with me for a moment. This is my progress on Bewitched, and I'll have to probably point it out to you, but my goal was to start on this side and move over, and as you can see, I did a little bit of that. I finished her hair here, and I finished part of this, part of the dress, or the background here for her sleeve, and moved on down her arm, and have gotten part of the arm done. There's another part of the sleeve that's going to go here, and then her hand, and it'll be holding this cloak. But for now, what I got done was just right in here. That was about one afternoon of stitching when I finally just got so frustrated that I said I have to stitch or I'm going to stab people. So anyway, I got a little bit done. Every little bit helps. It's not near what I had hoped to do. I had really hoped to get her arm finished all the way over and her hand. And so I'll just go ahead and make that a goal for next month to get her arm finished, her hand, and then start working on the sleeve and cloak, because that's a huge part here. And as soon as I get all that done, then see, I'll be ready to roll my piece down. I've got threads waiting on that as well. So I've got a bit of work to do on her, but she's coming along and I'm enjoying her. Hi everyone, I'm back, and I have my guest back with me today, JT. Glad he could join me, and he has several things he's going to be able to share with you today, and then he's going to help me generate the recipient for our Pass the Stash. And also, JT has something special he's going to share with you today. So I'm going to turn it over to you and let you start with your whip update.
Okay, so we'll do an update real quick. Last time I was on the video, I just started on this. And I've always completed one of the 4 colors. That's the black variegated.
And these 2 placeholders here are for planets, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I just have to do all I have left is the inside of the planets. All right. Next, some art I did. I just did this yesterday. It took me about 30 minutes or so. It's a little nighttime scene.
And this is this on blue jeans again?
This is a scrub top.
A scrub top, okay. So it's a cotton type fabric of some sort. But I love this because I just think it's so cute with that little bear eating honey with that person. We're thinking it's a little boy maybe. Out in the woods, but isn't that precious? Just love that one.
You can call it Winnie the Pooh too.
Winnie the Pooh too.
All right, watch your hands on this one.
All right.
This is the Father's Day gift I did for my dad. It's a saw blade. It's a handsaw. And I painted the handsaw.
This is a camping scene just out of your memory, is that right?
Yeah, just something I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our JT's dad has always admired these saws, you know, with art on them at the crafts fairs and things of that nature. And JT knew that, so he just surprised him with one of his own.
Okay. Next, it's a series I've done. We'll go through this. Not take a long time on each page.
Sure.
Just a couple seconds. And I call it my 120-second art collection because I try to do each picture within 120 seconds.
So when you hit 120 seconds, you just stopped.
I try to stop
wherever you are.
Unless I'm close enough, I need to finish it. I take another 30 seconds or so.
All right, I'm going to go through here and tell you a little bit about, if you can see it, I'll get it. There we go. I think you can see that, right? Yep. These are sketches that JT did of people in his life. You know, they're the one at the top is his dad. He and his dad playing outside in the front yard. And then the one on the bottom is me holding him as a baby, rocking in a rocking chair with the curlers in my hair. Shame on you. That old commercial. Here's his dog at the time. Was that Riblet?
That's Riblet.
Yeah. And this was JT playing, and I'll cover that up because it was an actual tag number. He was playing in the trunk of our car, just in the yard with his dad, and going from there. These are different techniques too. These are cross-hatched, but that is my mom, JT, and me on the top, and that was the house we lived in at the time, and I believe that was in Texas. No, Texas. That was at me mama's house. So that one, I think, because I see the swing set. And then this is his dad holding him in the hospital before we brought him home. And then them playing out in the yard when he was older. On NASA High Trail. You wrote that? Oh, this is JT at a local restaurant. You may have them in your area. It's called Waffle House. They're open 24 hours a day. When they open, they throw their keys away. They never close. This was a little duplex that my husband and I lived in when we were first married. That's JT's mom, me, on a horse when I was a little girl. And that's my husband and I when we were dating. But I love the fact that these are just 2 minutes. And as you go, you'll see, look how detailed those are becoming. As JT started, you know, and there he is apprenticing in the tattoo shop. Yeah, they're just becoming more and more detailed. There's his dad bike riding in our house that we lived at the time. That was on Martin Terrace. These are friends over at Christmas. And JT and his dad. Football team. Okay, here's, this is when he played on softball as a little kid, you know, the Little League stuff. And that's a wrecker that Jeremy's grandfather actually built from scratch. And it was one of the first wreckers ever built that could start towing big 18-wheelers. So that was kind of interesting. It's JT's grandmother working in the yard. This is a collage of items from my father who served in the military. And we were going through a box and of things, and JT laid them out and just drew a picture of them. And then here is my brother, my mom, and JT on the bottom there. I love this one. This was at the Space Museum. JT was a very small child, got in a helicopter and flew it. Not a real one, but a simulation. And then this was a trip to the zoo that he remembered. So you're looking at photographs when you're doing this. And going from there. And then, oh, this is a cute one here. JT and I went down to Brunswick, Georgia to visit a friend of mine, and her nephew had a little cart, a little car. It was an electric car. And he and JT rode up and down that street forever. I don't know. Long time.
The only thing I can remember about the car is I think we almost hit a tree.
But you didn't.
But we didn't.
Thank goodness. This is one of my favorite pictures in here. There's a couple of them there. There's a close-up of JT, but I love this one because he's sitting on a stump in the front yard. That was his favorite place to sit, in the front yard when we lived in Texas, and he could watch everything going on in the neighborhood. And here's one of us at the beach at Corpus Christi. And then here is his second birthday party at my brother's home. That's all of his family members around him, and you can see he's about to dive into the cake. So now you notice these are empty because those are open for more. So I'm hoping I'll get another present. That was a present to me, and I'm hoping I'll get more of those. But thanks for sharing those.
There you go. So the next thing is a new start I've done. And I'm not going to show you what it's supposed to look like. I'll just show you my progress. And there's a reason for that. So this is the start. We're doing this on black 14 count Ada. And it's going to be all white. So it's going to be probably a little difficult.
Yeah, a little challenging.
A little challenging. But so far it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I put it in front of a light. And you can see all the holes pretty easy.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do with that one is the first person that actually correctly guesses what the picture is going to be when completed will get a little prize. So you can guess now, but I don't think anyone will get it.
Yeah.
But as I continue to visit with my mom here on the channel, I'll show you updates on it, and the first person that actually comments correctly on what the image is will get something.
And it's not a pattern name. It's an image you found and you made into a pattern.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It's not an actual pattern. It's something I've done piece to pad on.
So you just want them to be able to tell you what it is you're stitching.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a little game going on. It'll be ongoing. I think that'll be great fun. So the last thing I think we need to do today is go ahead and pick the person who's going to receive the pattern, the stitcher. And we've got the random number generator on my iPad. I can show you. We've got it pulled up. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but oh, there you go, a little bit. But JT's gonna do this for me. He's got the numbers in from 1 to 72, and because we had 72 comments, and he'll generate a winner.
All right, it generated number 25.
Number 25. Number 25 is Joy Leftwich. And her favorite author, she commented, was Patricia Cornwell. And Joy, I'm excited because I think I've read every one of her books. But Joy, if you will go ahead and send me a message, private message me on Facebook, and give me your contact information so I can get your mailing address, I will be happy to send the stitcher to you as soon as possible. Looking forward to hearing from you. Anything else you have for today?
That's all for I have.
All right, that's all I have too. So you guys, we're going to cut the video here as far as for the month, and I'll go ahead and try to put all these little pieces together, and we'll upload it so that you can start contacting us if you think you know what the picture is. So Joy, if you'll let me know how to get in touch with you, we'll send you your pattern. In the meantime, you guys, for the rest of what little bit of the month is left, we hope you have happy stitching.
Thank you.
Bye.